Right. Now, this floor area is almost correct, but what I want to do is I want to carve out a section in the middle of here and actually have this floor basically be hollow or have a large unused section in the middle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw another floor area, and it doesn't really matter what sort of fill I use. And I'm going to have this start here, come down to here, come along to here, up to here, and then along. So that's given me two floors, one on top of each other. Now let's not think of these as floors for a moment. Let's think of them as really nicely filled shapes. Campaign Cartographer works with what it calls polygon shapes. If we combine these two shapes together, this internal shape will actually be removed from the outer shape. And we do this using this function here, the multi-poly tool. Really powerful tool. So I'm going to click, I'm going to drag it across the outer shape and across the inner shape. Check that you've only got the two entities, in other words the two floor sections selected. You can see that down here. Then bring your mouse back here, right click, go do it. Save now. Now what has happened here is the floor layer itself has changed color. And the reason for this is we had a fill style of solid and a color of black. So when the new shape was created, it's taken those settings. We can very quickly change this floor back to being the shape that we want. Incidentally, I'll just redraw this so you can see, yes indeed, this is now a floor with a hole cut in the middle. So what I'm going to do now is click on this tool here, change properties. I'm going to select our floor by clicking on the edge of it. Again, only one element is selected. Right click and go do it. The fill style I'm going to check, and I want the fill style to be cobblestone. I'm pretty sure it was along here somewhere. These are all of the loaded fill styles that I have. Stonework cobble bitmap. Select this one, click on OK, and now our shape has the original texture in. Click on draw and you can now see that we've got a very interesting floor here. I'm going to turn off our guides for a moment, so 20-foot connector guides, I'm going to hide them again, and I'm going to click on the sheets and activate them. Ooh, quite interesting. Very creepy looking crypt entrance here. Let's put some walls in. Click on the default wall. I think that we had it as well, we'll go for, from memory, brown cobblestone. And then we start at the edge of the map, and I'm just going to draw around this shape. Now because we have created this floor as a polygon with a hole in the middle, you can actually see that the internal section, this area in here, has got the shadow facing inwards, which is exactly what we want. If you just drew another piece of dirt across the top of this map, you wouldn't get this nice shadow. And here's another thing. If you're going to be starting a wall, try not to start the walls on the corners here. The reason for that is when the wall joins itself back again, you'll get a little bit of a nick. If you start in the middle of the wall like so, when the walls come back flush, you don't see the connection point as readily. Wonderful. As you can see, this crypt looks quite distinctive now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some nice little coffins and whatnot. So we're going to go to the temples and statues symbol set, and I'm going to scroll down till I can find something pretty ghastly. Armor on slab. Perfect. Now that looks a bit small, so I'm right clicking while I've still got the symbol selected, and you can see that we've got the X and the Y coordinates are set to 0.8. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go set to normal, and that just sets the X and the Y to 1. We've got our smart tracking turned on, which is all good. Go more. Now he's not the right angle. There's a quick way of changing the angle of a symbol that you're adding in Campaign Cartographer. It's to use the up, down and left and right arrow keys on your keyboard. That's the up arrow there, that's the down arrow there, so there he goes. I'm just going to slot my little knight in there, in there, and in there. I'm going to now push the up arrow, and I'm going to put it in there, and another one in there. I'm going to leave that one empty because that always frightens people. It's things that aren't there which are more frightening. Well, let's save this off. File, save as. We'll call it the Crypt of Undying Evil. It's got 2 entrances, not really doors, we'll call them entrances, and they're 20 foot. Save. Again, we could print this off and be ready to go. Now, we can replicate this room as many times as you want. We can also rotate it around very quickly. So we could actually make a very long crypt in this way.